I'm black and I'm back, y'all. Was about to go to sleep, but I couldn't leave y'all hanging, okay? I know I'm behind. I gotta catch up, okay? But anyways, just getting out the shower, fresh face, fresh natural hair, whatever. I threw on some lipstick for y'all so I could at least put forth some effort. But anywho, y'all already know I'm here. I'm here to give y'all my review on the Haves and the Have-Nots. I am reviewing season 6, episode 3, titled A Good Man, Honey, okay? And when I thought about good man, y'all know I automatically thought about Great Value Obama. I mean, he's the best man on the show, okay? But anywho, before I even get into that, if this is your first time on my channel, please, please, please be sure to click that subscribe button. Everybody watching this video right now, click that like button for me. Let's get those likes up. And thank you guys so much for your support, and I hope you enjoy the video. Okay, so the episode summary was Justin will stop at nothing to make sure Jeffrey is his, okay? They're not married, but Justin is like, look, till death do us part, okay? So this episode starts off where it left off. Justin, okay? Y'all, he turning into, I don't know, he's a fatal attraction for real. Okay, so y'all know the week before, Madison was trying to be Mr. Tough Guy. He saw his car all beat up. He on the phone with Jeffrey. Jeffrey trying to get him to knock it off the phone, but Madison is like, no, I got to take care of this. I'll call you back. While he do that, Justin comes up behind him, hits him in the head with a crowbar. I'm like, oh, Lord, Madison is innocent. Like, he can't die. Like, please don't let him start bleeding out his head. But, Justin didn't, like, severely hurt him at this point, okay? So, as soon as the phone clicks off, then we see Jeffrey. Jeffrey starts calling Madison's phone again. So, Justin was like, oh, perfect. He picks up the phone. He hears Jeffrey saying hello, but Justin never said anything. Okay, so at that point, he hangs up the phone. He puts some software on his phone or something, but basically, like, he's, like, taking out Jeffrey's number out of the phone. Got you. Okay, so then we see Jeffrey in person. Jeffrey is at his father's house because if y'all remember, David got taken out of the hospital, although he probably should have stayed, but he wanted to be released and he wanted to receive his care at home. Okay, cool. So he is there. His father is in pain. He needs the nurse, Madison, but Madison is knocked out in the parking garage, okay? So Jeffrey's checking on his dad. Although his dad wants a nurse, before Jeffrey leaves, he wants him to get him Erica's little black book. He needs to see it for himself that his new love of his life, Erica, okay, that he was just like in pain because of her painful death. He wants to know for sure that she played him, okay? He wants to see Veronica and Candace's name in that book. So, of course, Jeffrey does as he's told. He brings the book back to his father, and unfortunately, the names are in there, okay? So, David is pissed off to the highest level of festivity. Like, wow, Veronica really played me. Okay, I got her number. Okay, so now we have Justin. Justin stands over Madison with the crowbar. He's still at the scene of the crime, okay? I don't know why you hit him in the head and then you still decided to stay there, but whatever. So, like the parking garage security comes up. He is basically like a rent-a-cop. He comes up and he's like, hey, dude, what are you doing? What are you doing? Justin's like, oh, well, I just saw him here. Like, dude, you're caught red-handed. So the parking security guy is getting like real tough with him. Meanwhile, we know like you don't have an actual gun, okay? Like you're just security that they rented, maybe $50 an hour for 3 hours, okay? So Justin is like, I'm taking matters into my own hands. So he like punches the security dude or like knocks him like in his like lower region, and he comes in, he falls down to the ground. So security gets on his walkie-talkie and asks for backup to come. At this point, Justin knows better. He's like, I'm out of here. Okay, so now we have Sarah, okay, this little floozy, still at Catherine's house. I'm calling it Catherine's house because it's not Jim's house. She is still waiting around on Wyatt or Jim, okay? So she walks outside because at this point she's ready to go. So the DA calls her because, of course, he sent her over there to get information. So he calls and he's basically putting her under pressure. Like, you have till the end of the day to get me that information or you're going down. You're going to be prosecuted. Actually, you make me sick to my stomach anyway, so you're getting in trouble anyway. And I'm like, dude, shouldn't you be nice to her? Like, you kind of need her on your side. Whatever. So she's like, okay, I'll see what I can do. Okay, now to the good man, Great Value Obama. So Great Value Obama and Candace are riding in like his limo or his like car service, and Secret Service is following behind him in cars. At this point, they're quiet in the car, and Candace turns to him and she's like, "What are you thinking about?" Now, mind you, before they got in the car, they were at the hospital with Benny. His last exchange with Candace was her shutting him down and telling him to stay out of her and her mama's business. But she talked down to him, okay? She didn't respect him for, like, the good man that he is, okay? So, next thing you know, we see them in the car, and she's like, "What are you thinking about?" Great Value Obama was like, I'm thinking about the fact that you can never talk to me like that again. And she is like, "Oh, excuse me? And what if I do?" He was like, "You know what? You can get out of my car. I'm done with this, and I'm done with you. Like, you got a lot of drama. I won't be tolerated being spoken to that way." She was like, "Yeah, right. I'm not getting out. You're not putting me out in the middle of nowhere." He was like, "You gonna get out of my car?" She was like, "Wait, you gonna put me out?" He was like, I will stop this car and drag you out on my own." Okay, so they stopped the car because he tells his driver to stop the car, and I was like, oh shoot, they about to be on TMZ. Okay, so they decide, when the car stops, Landon freaks out. Okay, so Landon like rushes to the car and he's like, "Sir, what is going on? Is everything okay?" So at this point, Great Value Obama is like, "She needs to get out the car. I'm sick of her. I'm done with her. Okay, and I'm about to pull her out myself." Landon is like, "Calm down. You can't do that, okay? There are reporters in a truck right behind us that have been following us. This would be horrible. You are the president-elect. She's not worth it, okay? Don't do it, Miss Seeley. Don't do it." Okay, so at that point, Charles calms down. Candace is sitting there like, "Yeah, I'm not moving. I'm not going nowhere. I said what I said, okay?" So basically, it's a catch-22. Okay, so now we go back to Benny, okay? Benny is back at home. He completely ignores the doctor's orders. He's still in pain. He should still be in the hospital receiving care, but he's not, okay? So he is back home. Mitch and Hannah bring him up to his room. He's a big baby, okay? The way that Benny is going, I don't know, he might actually die. Like, he should have stayed in the hospital. He looks like he's in a lot of pain, but whatever. So Mitch tells Hannah, like, his family is not going to be after Benny. He's going to go shut that down right now and make sure that's taken care of. Okay. But before he left, Benny asked him to take the money that he had, the $45,000 or something like that he borrowed from the Malones, to take it back to them. Mitch is like, "You know they ain't going to accept this without interest." Benny is like, "Please, can you just do it?" Fine, he'll try. So he gets the money, and so that he can take it back to them. Okay. Before we leave Benny in his bedroom, he also tells Hannah that she needs to get rid of Derek, okay? He don't need to be here no more, okay? He's good. He's back in the house. Now Derek can go home because he's tired of seeing him up in here like he's stepdaddy or something. Okay, well, since Hannah is grown and Mama gotta have a life too, Hannah goes downstairs and does the complete opposite of what Benny asked her to do, okay? Derek is like, "Okay, I'm gonna go home. Let me know if you need anything." And Hannah's like, "Actually, I want you to stay." Derek is like, "Okay, cool. Well, I mean, your couch ain't that bad." She's like, "No, I want you to stay in my room." He's like, "Say what? Come in." And she's like, "Really, I've just been stressed out. I've had so much going on. Like, just come into my room and I just want you to lay in my bed and just cuddle. Like, that's all I need." And I'm like, "Hannah, don't play yourself, but really don't play him, because you know that he, like, really wants you." But whatever. She said no sex. He said, "Okay, I'm going to try." So now we go back to Madison. Madison is at the hospital. He's been examined by one of the doctors because, of course, he's been knocked out with the crowbar. The doctor determines that he's fine, and Madison said he will get a ride home on his own. Okay, so at that point, Madison is like, why Jeffrey ain't called me? He don't realize that Jeffrey called him while he was knocked out, and Justin actually picked up the phone. Okay, so Madison calls Jeffrey's number, and he thinks Jeffrey picked up the phone, but his voice is slightly different. And he's like, why do you sound like that? He sound like that because it wasn't Jeffrey, okay? It was Justin. Eventually, Madison caught on to that. And he is like, this dude is really crazy. He has like switched out their numbers in here. Okay, whatever. So he just hangs up the phone. Okay, so next thing you know, we see Jim. Jim is finally pulling back up to Catherine's house. I assume he's trying to calculate some type of plan to have them not go to jail, or at least go there and check on his grown baby, toddler. Like, Wyatt is worse than dealing with 10 little 2-year-olds because he acts like a horrible child. But whatever the case, he goes there, to check on everything that's going on at home. But when he gets there, Sarah's outside. And she's like, Jim, I need to talk to you. Well, at this point, he's already caught her wearing a wire before, so he doesn't trust her. He's like ripping at her clothes. He's like, you need to take off your jacket. Do you have a wire? I'm not trying to talk to you. Are there pictures of people out here? Are there people out here taking pictures of us? Where are the police coming from? Because I know you're setting me up. She was like, no. I really just need to talk to you. So he like pushes her inside, makes her go inside before anybody sees them. Okay, so once she gets inside, he tells her, like, what do you want? And she's like, I don't want to go to jail. And he's like, okay, so what does that mean? She was like, that means I need the bullet back, the bullet that I stole for you. And he was like, and why would I do that? I don't know what you're talking about. And she was like, please, Jim, I don't want to be prosecuted. He was like, well, if you took the bullet, then you deserve to be prosecuted. That ain't got nothing to do with me. You did that on your own merit. And she's like, no, I did that for you. He's like, no. You did that for yourself because you love me so much and we were intimate. We had a thing going. I broke up with you. You was trying to get back with me. He started concocting this entire story. She was like, that's not true. And then he's like, it's true. Okay. He was saying it to the point where she like second guessing herself. Like, dang, they really are going to believe his story. Okay, so at this point, she just starts stripping. She was like, I will do whatever you need me to do. I do not want to go to jail, okay? Like, my life is going to be over. He's like, your life is already over. Like, what are you talking about? And so she's like, please, Jim. She literally starts, like, throwing herself at him, like, trying to kiss him, trying to rub on him. He's like, you need to beg a little bit more because this ain't working. And what you're trying to offer me, I've had that before. And quite frankly, it's not worth it. And so she looks pathetic at this point, okay? Well, finally, Queen Catherine walks into the room, okay? Real quiet, calm, but enough to, like, scare Sarah. And, like, she starts trying to cover up. Catherine is like, oh, no, honey, don't cover up. I already seen you. And if I had a body like that, I wouldn't cover up either. Now, what is going on here? So, in the midst of all of this, Sarah's looking shocked. Catherine and Jim, they don't like each other, okay? But they know that they have to work together to keep their family out of trouble and to keep themselves out of jail. So what they start doing is making up a story on the spot about Sarah basically being like an obsessed lover of Jim's, and Jim like let her down, and like he also put Catherine through a lot of stuff because he was having an affair with Sarah, and like he's come back home and he loves his wife so much, and Sarah was really trying to prove herself to him, so she went and took some bullet out of custody, and it's all on her, and she's called a million times. Like, they literally created an entire story, okay? And she's like, well, you guys know that's not true. And it was like, I mean, all we got to do is get a couple of witnesses that work in our house, and we can concoct some phone records. I mean, we would love to see you in court because it's looking good for us right about now. So she is just, like, disgusted by this. Like, y'all are both crazy, okay? Clearly, they married each other. They have something in common. So she just wraps up her clothes and, like, storms out, okay? So at this point, when she gets outside, she is fed up. She gets in her car to speed off. But from what we can see, she doesn't know yet. When Wyatt snuck out of the house in last week's episode, he actually snuck into her trunk. So her car must have been unlocked. He locked himself in the trunk. So that way, when she drives away, he can get away too, okay? He doesn't have to like walk anywhere to where he needs to go. He just wanted to escape his parents' home. Okay, so at this point, we go back into the house. We see Jim and Catherine basically like recapping what they talked about. That's their story, and they're gonna stick with it, okay? But Jim tells her, like, I know you hate Veronica, but please, you cannot make her mad because, to be honest, she's a horrible person, but she's like the best lawyer in town. So we might actually need her if we have like some chance at staying out of jail. Okay, so at this point, Jim calls one of his Wyatt's bodyguards, his shadows, and he asks him, what is Wyatt doing? The bodyguard is like, I don't know. He's like, what do I pay you for? Go check on him and see what he's doing. When they go and check on him, unfortunately, they have to report back to Jim that he is not in his room. They're trying to search the perimeter. Neither one of them know where he is. And Jim is like, are y'all stupid? Like, how did he get out of the house? Like, y'all need to go look at all the cameras, search all nearby, and find him. Okay. So now back to Great Value Obama and Candace. Okay. So they had to endure this painful car ride with each other. Okay. I'm assuming they weren't speaking. They come into the hotel on their floor because remember, he rented out that whole floor for them. And they are like mad walking down the hall. At this point, Great Value Obama goes into his room and Candace is going into her room. As she's shutting the door, Landon pushes open the door and comes in right behind her and shuts the door, okay? So Landon is like, what in the world is going on with you? Because he is heated, okay? Because in his mind, Great Value Obama is a great man, okay? And if you don't realize that, you don't even deserve him, okay? Landon is like, I wish I could have him and you treating him like this. That's what he's thinking. He just didn't say it yet, okay? So at this point, he goes in and Candace is like, I'm packing and I'm getting out of here. Landon's like, well, where are you going? She said, I don't know, but I'm getting far away from him. Now she's acting like Charles is the problem, right? Okay, so then he's like, okay, well, you know what? Let me just help you. He starts going into her dresser, putting her stuff in her bag, and she's like, what are you doing? He was like, no, because I'm sick of you, okay? You're ungrateful. It has been like literally, I feel like I've been living in hell on earth working with you. It is impossible, okay? I've never met someone so stupid. Like, you are so comfortable in the chaos that you've created in your life. It's like you don't even want to escape it. Like, you like crave for this type of life. And I'm sick of it. And you're making my job even harder. And you're hurting him in the meantime. So, you know what? It is what it is. And she's like, okay, whatever. And she starts packing her stuff. Then Landon gets mad. He stops for a second. He's like, you know what? He's probably over there drinking himself to sleep. Okay? But for some strange reason, he doesn't do that when you're around because he feels something when he's around you. I don't know what he feels, but he actually is in touch with his emotions. I don't understand it. Candace is like, well, of course you wouldn't understand it. You're a gay man. And he's like, yes, but I've been around him for a very long time. And I was like, pause, hold on, wait, Landon, okay? You was just Maggie Day's assistant like 2 seasons ago, okay? She hasn't been dead that long. So you haven't been around him that long, okay? But whatever. Back to the story. So he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I've been around him for a long time. I know him. He's a genuine guy. And Candace is like, oh, you're in love with him. Oh, my gosh. Is he gay? And he's like, Candace, now come on, you know he's not gay. And she was like, no, I don't know. You tell me. And then he was like, I mean, you can spot a gay man, can't you? And she was like, well, you tell me, because I feel like now I'm the beard. I'm trying to cover up for him. And Landon is like, well, is he gay? Charles is like, this is my time to step in, okay? All this time, Charles is like literally standing on the wall, listening, waiting for the perfect opportunity to jump in on this conversation. So Charles jumps in and was like, is that what you think I am? And so at that point, Landon already knew, like, oh, this is my cue. I need to peace out, okay? So Candace was like, I don't know. You tell me. So Charles says, look, I'm tired, so if you want to leave, then you need to get your stuff and you need to leave now. Like, he's not joking with her. He's just like fed up because he wants her and he wants more for her, but she doesn't want more for herself. Okay. So he's just tired of the back and forth game. So she's like, well, are you gay? And he's like, now you know I'm not gay. And she's like, okay, well, how do I know that? And he's like, what are you doing? And he's like, you know I'm not gay, but I know you're trying to hurt me. And then she was like, trying to hurt you. He was like, yeah, I know you are. You're in pain. You're going through a lot. So you're trying to hurt me. But what you don't understand is that you can't hurt me. Basically, like, he's been through enough on his own. Whatever you think you can do to hurt him, you can't possibly do that. And so Candace is like, no, but I can. So Great Value Obama is like, look, I know your pain. I know you're hurting. But at the same time, I know that you don't want to change. And how foolish of me when I sat there and listened to the way that you disrespected your mother at the hospital and how you're just like so proud of the way you are. You don't want to change, so I'm foolish to think that I can come in and change your life. You can only change if you want to change. So I'm not going to waste my time with you. It's fine. I will move on, and I will never speak to you from this day forward. And he says all that, and then Candace looks at him, and she's like, are you done? And it's a little frustrating because Candace knows that he's telling the truth, but Candace doesn't want to let her guards down. She specifically told Landon when they were arguing back and forth that she knows the type of guy that Great Value Obama is. Basically, she's the type that if she lets him into her life, like, and she'll like love him and this, and that, then he'll like take advantage of her. And he's the type of guy with power that thinks he'll have power over her, and that's not happening. So it lets me know clearly this has happened to her in life before. Well, for one, it happened with Oscar. Maybe that was her and Quincy back in the day before she got pregnant with little Quincy. I don't know. But she has a lot of trauma she hasn't gotten through, clearly. Okay. So at this point, when she told him, are you done? Great Value Obama looked at her and he said, absolutely. And he walked out. And I was like, dang, I really loved their love story. But whatever. We shall see. Okay, so now we see Jeffrey, okay? Jeffrey goes to the hospital to find Madison. He's asking the nurse or receptionist at the front desk about Madison. He's calling them, but he's not picking up the phone, so then he asks her to call Madison. When she calls him, he picks up automatically. He's in the exam room. He said he'll come right out. Then Jeffrey's out there. Madison is asking him, like, dude, why didn't you call me? Jeffrey is like, dude, I've been calling you. And that's when he calls him again and realizes Justin did something and switched their numbers. So they're not happy about this. For a minute, Jeffrey wanted to call Justin and go off, but Madison talked him out of it because Madison is like, he's trying to get a rise out of you. He's trying to get you to come to him. He's trying to, like, get your attention. That's what he wants you to do. So don't do it. So at this point, Jeffrey is like, cool, whatever, fine. Let me take you to my dad's house. He needs your help. So they decide to leave. So now we see Candace. Candace is back at the hotel. Of course, she's packed up all her bags and stuff to leave because she's mad at Great Value Obama. She goes up to the bar, and Rocky is at the bar. Okay, before she can even order her drink, Rocky apologizes to her because, remember, she had her little spat with him last season, and he got beat up, okay? In front of Gia, I believe. Which Gia? Y'all, where has Gia been? Like, this whole season. Like, she just disappeared. Like, they should wrap up that storyline. But whatever. So, he asked, like, is there any way he could help her? She's like, yeah, I need cash because I need to get out of town. Unfortunately, he don't got it right now. So she's like, you're useless. Whatever. Then her next flunky walks up. It's Broderick. He's behind her. And he's like, Candace, like, do you need anything from me? And she tells him the same thing. I need some cash. He don't have it either. And so she's just like, oh my gosh, y'all are good for nothing. Like, I really got to get out of this town. Like, then he's trying to get her to tell him, like, what's going on. She's learned her lesson. Like, I don't trust nobody. I'm not telling you, but I just need money to get out of town. So at this point, he decides to break the news to her. Like, look, I'm just letting you know, Catherine Cryer knows about the ring, okay? She threatened to take my job from me. I had to tell her about the ring, and I had to shut it down. And so Candace is like, well, dang, that sucks. All that work for nothing, and we don't even get any money out of it. And he's like, yeah, sorry. And then Broderick is like, okay, so what do you want me to do about Catherine? She was like, I don't even care. I don't even want nothing to do with that lady. I got bigger fish to fry. Do what you want to do. I don't care. Okay, great. So now we see Derek and Hannah. Okay, so Derek and Hannah are in Hannah's room because, you know, Derek is staying the night, okay? But he decides he needs to take a shower. Hannah is like, you ain't got to take no shower. He said, look, I've been going with you all day. Just let me take a shower. So they, like, flirt a little bit back and forth. But she takes his clothes so that she can put them in the washer, and he goes to take a shower. Okay, but when he gets in the shower, Hannah has a moment to herself. She's like, Lord, please help me make it through this night. And I'm like, Hannah, because you be acting like you all saved, but you ain't been next to a man in the bed in a long time. So we'll see how this goes. Okay, so now we have Veronica and RK at Veronica's house. I don't know why RK is so infatuated with Veronica and how he has become so arrogant. And he knows how crazy her life can be, but he is still there, okay? They're sitting on the couch, and Veronica is toasted at this point. So Veronica is just venting to RK. She's in disbelief, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe the day that hit me. RK is like, well, look, you remember I was here to defend you. And I'm thinking, is RK is she a mark for him? Like, is he trying to come up off of her money still, even though she's crazy? I don't know. So she was like, I cannot believe David put his hands on me, but you couldn't take him anyway. David is a real man, and he's just this, and that. And so RK was like, okay, so why are you treating him like this? She said, because he cheated on me, okay? And then he was like, well, he said he didn't cheat on you. She was like, you know what? I'm about to call him, okay? I'm drunk. I've been drinking, and I'm just in my feelings. She had a whole waiting to excel moment. And I'm like, y'all remember on Waiting to Excel when she called her ex-husband and went off on him? Her friend is backing her up in the background. Her other friends is like, don't do it, don't do it. RK was telling her don't do it, but she decided to do it anyway because she was in her feelings. So she calls David. Mind you, David is at home in pain right now, okay? He is grieving the loss of Erica, but he really don't know how to feel about it either because now he knows that she was working with Veronica, and he just hates Veronica at this point. So when David picks up the phone, he immediately tells her, I know about you and Erica. And she's like, oh, boy, bye, whatever. She starts taunting him about how he thought he was in love and this, and that. And David is sick of it. He's not yelling. He's not anything. This is the most serious I've ever seen him be, and I actually believe him at this point. David was calm and serious, and he was like, Veronica, you have crossed the line, and I'm telling you right now, I am going to kill you. And he said it with so much strength and absolute power in that statement that I believe that Veronica believed him as well, to the point where she was actually speechless, just hung up the phone and just stared there dang, I really lit a match here. He's never said he wanted to kill me. We had something one day. I mean, I tried to kill him, but that's normal for my personality. But he's trying to kill me. What in the world has happened to my life? At that point, when she's staring straight ahead, RK is just rubbing it in. He was like, I told you not to call him. I told you. And y'all, that ended the episode. So, I will be back for the next episode. That'll be a really quick review because the next episode is I did not like it. So that'll be fast. But whatever the case, I will get caught up. Stay tuned for my videos for the next 2 days. I should be posting a video once a day. So thank y'all so much. If you made it this far, please, please, please subscribe. If you're not a subscriber, you may as well. And click that like button once again. And I will see you guys in my next video. Holla.